Icelandic volcano, increasing ash cloud. The Icelandic volcano, that has kept much of Europe land-bound, is far from finished, spitting out its ash, and offered up new mini-eruptions on Saturday that raise serious concerns about longer-term damage to world air travel and trade. Facing days, perhaps weeks, nobody's for sure, to come under the volcano's unpredictable ashy plume. Europeans are looking at temporary airport layoffs and trying to get creative with flight patterns. Modern Europe has never seen such a travel disruption. Airspace across a swath from Britain to Ukraine was closed and set to stay that way until perhaps Monday in some countries, affecting airports from New Zealand to San Francisco. Millions of passengers have had plans foiled or delayed. Activity in the volcano increased early Saturday and showed no signs of abating. There doesn't seem to be an end in sight, said an Icelandic geologist. The activity has been quite vigorous overnight, causing the eruption column to grow. Scientists say that because the volcano is situated below a glacial ice cap, the magma is being cooled quickly, causing explosions and plumes of ash or grit that can be catastrophic to plane engines, depending on prevailing winds. In Iceland, winds dragged the ashes over new farmland to the southwest of the glacier, causing farmers to scramble to secure their cattle and board up windows, with the sky blackened out and the wind driving a fine, sticky dust. A dairy farmer teamed up with neighbors to round up her animals and get them to shelter. The ash is toxic. The fluoride causes long-term bone damage that can make teeth fall out and bones break. This is bad. There are no words for it, said the farmer, whose pastures near the town of Skogar are already covered in a gray paste of ash. Forecasters say light prevailing winds in Europe and large amounts of glacial ice above the volcano mean that the situation is unlikely to change quickly. A Dutch geologist who is in Iceland observing the volcano described it to Dutch state broadcaster NOS. We're at 25 kilometers, 16 miles distance from the crater now. We're looking at a sun-soaked ice shelf, and above it is looming a cloud of ashes of 4 to 5 kilometers, 2.5 to 3 miles high. There are lightning flashes in it. It's a real inferno we're looking at. And there's absolutely no sign that the thing is calming down. On the contrary, we can see that at this moment it's really, really active. With the prospect of days under the cloud of ash, pilots and aviation officials sought to dodge the dangerous ash by adjusting altitude levels. All airspace in Poland, hosting a huge state funeral for late President Lech Kaczynski, remained closed on Saturday to flights above the cloud level of 20,000 feet because of the ash cloud. The aviation industry, already reeling from a punishing period, is facing at least $200 million a day in losses, according to the International Air Transport Association. Scandinavian airline operator SAS AB said it has given notice of a temporary layoff of up to 2,500 ground service workers in Norway as a result of the flight disruptions. An airline spokeswoman said it is a precautionary move, and that said eventual temporary layoffs may not possibly affect all 2,500 notified. Budget airline Norwegian ASA losing $1.5 million to $1.7 million a day because of the ash-driven closures, is holding meetings with unions Monday to discuss potential temporary layoffs. If we are looking at the future, we cannot maintain the cost of all this forever or much longer, said the communications manager of Brussels Airlines, citing such costs as providing buses to passengers meant to fly from Athens or Lisbon to Brussels. Around the world, anxious passengers have told stories of missed weddings, business deals, and holidays because of the ominous ash plume. Stranded passengers reported the delays were causing financial hardships. Some had to check out of hotels and sleep in airports. It's like a refugee camp, said one passenger, describing the scene at New York's Kennedy Airport. And again, these are more signs. Everything is connected. There's something much bigger going on here than all this. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And yes, these are more signs of the end times, transition days. The transition is a process happening day by day all around the world.